Howdy ho, guys and gals. Welcome back to the Den of Tools, and today we're going to talk about tool chests. Well, not just any tool chest. We're talking about rolling tool cabs, smaller rolling tool cabinets like this one here. This is, I think, a great option for many shops. I've used them a lot. I have several of the Craftsman 2000 series. I've used them as tool stands before. I'm currently in a bigger shop now, so we've got benches all the way around the side of the shop, so I don't really need that kind of thing anymore. So they've been reassigned to other duties. Currently, I'm using one as a side table here. As you can see, I got another one working as a welding cabinet or a welding cart, and my third one is a barbecue cart at home. We're going to talk all about the build quality of these, where they should fall in your shop, what you might want to use them for. We're going to start off talking about the Craftsman 1000 series over at Lowe's. This is about as light duty as they come, about as budget friendly as they come at $159. Other than going with some real no-name knockoff kind of stuff you may find at some, indiscriminate hardware store, this is about going to be it. And at $159, it's not a terrible price, especially when you can get it on sale, knocks it down even a bit more. You're looking at a 4-drawer cart here. Now, it doesn't have a wide array of different drawers. You got 1 medium depth drawer and 3 deeper drawers. And also, you got to remember looking at the dimensions with all of these. This is coming in at 26.5 by 32.5 by 18 inches deep. So it's not very deep. Now, maybe that works better for you than one that's deeper. But remember, a deeper cabinet that's just as wide and just as tall is going to give you exponentially more storage space. It really increases quickly for every extra inch beyond that 18. Is this a good cart for a budget situation? Maybe. Real downside to this one is if it's anything like the build quality on the 2000, the 2000 is allegedly a step up. The 2000 is put together entirely with sheet metal screws. When I say that, like the handle you put on the side, the wheels, like literally the wheels are held, the plates go on with sheet metal screws. It's kind of an embarrassment for the Craftsman name there, if you ask me. I can't imagine that the 1000 series would be more robust, but who knows? The other thing you have to pay attention to is that 32 inches, that's not standard workbench height. So if you're going to use this as a workbench, you're going to be a little bit lower. That does mean maybe it will slide under a workbench, add some drawer storage kind of stuff, maybe some more flexible kind of storage there for you. So that might be a win in some cases. Now let's jump over to Home Depot. They've got their version of this, is the Husky, coming in at $169. I think this is a substantially better cart, and maybe I'm being a little biased on this. I don't know. I grew up a Craftsman fanboy, and it's hard for me to say no to the black and red there, but this at $169, it's 26.5, 18-inch deep, 32 and a half high. It's essentially the same size cart as the Craftsman 1000 series. I don't know about the construction of this cart. I've only glanced at it a few times, not had a chance to get really paws deep on it, if you will. But if you have, let me know what you think about the build construction. If you have one of these, put it down in the comments. Are these bolts? Are they sheet metal screws? Because I remember looking at them in store and they seemed a lot more solid than the Craftsman. At $169, I might be inclined to go that route, even though they're essentially the same size. Now, back to Lowe's, their house brand, Cobalt, has one, but it's coming in at $269. Now, it is better build quality. It's a decent cart. It is 33 inches high. It's a smidge higher. Otherwise, the same size, but at $269, I can't really justify it. Now, they do have some significant sale prices when they do run them, especially around Black Friday and times like that. But I don't think I would wait for something like that. Now, let's talk about the Craftsman that I've got here. This is now there's 2 versions of this Craftsman. I just want to call this out. So this one is 34 inches high, 26 by 34, and the other one is 26 by 36. And at that point, you're at true bench top height on that one. That one's coming in at $320, currently on sale, but it might not be on sale when you're looking at this video. This one's $284, currently on sale for $250. At $250, it's not a terrible deal. But again, the sheet metal screws, I know I'm harping on this. It's just something, if you're going to move this thing a lot, that's something you have to consider, because those aren't going to hold up. I can't see them holding up long term if you're constantly rolling this all the time. Now, does it work okay as a side cabinet? Yeah, it works okay. It's got soft closed drawers. For light duty kind of stuff, they're not bad. And I said, I've used them as tool stands. I've run miter saws sitting on them. Again, Not terrible. As far as the depth on this is deeper than 18. I think they're 22 inches. I got my tape measure right here. I'm just going to double check because I just looked at this before, and of course then I forgot. And it's coming in at no, it's coming in at 18. I thought they were deeper than that. No, it's 18 inches in depth. So that's too bad. But anyway, you think I'd know with it sitting next to me all the time. Anyway, I have a hard time recommending them. I use them all the time. They seem great, but again, I don't move them. And if that's the situation, maybe that's fine with you. You know, I love the look of it, but I don't know if most people can afford, or not can afford, but would want to pay the extra money just for the red paint job there. You can get these in black also. I got them because they were on sale, and Lowe's had screwed up a previous order and gave me a significant gift card to make up for it. So for me, they were like half price, and that's why I went with it. Honestly, I would not have gotten them otherwise. Now Menards has their own budget brand, Performax. Now they have a better one we're going to talk about in a little bit. I don't have a Menards near me, but I have been there a couple times. I have taken a look at this stuff. It didn't seem terrible, but it was a while ago I was looking at these. Although I don't think that they quite justified the $300 price. Now, Menards has that 11% off coupon that they run all the time. The problem with that is you buy it, you send in the thing, you get a rebate for 11%. You have to go back in store to use it again. It creates that perpetual cycle kind of thing. Hey, it works for them. Maybe it works for you. By the way, if you have a Home Depot in your area and you have Menards in your area, Home Depot will often honor that 11% discount, and usually as just a discount right there at the register, then you don't have to keep doing that whole back and forth kind of thing. This is a 27 by 18 cart. This is about the same as the other ones. It's coming in, I think, at 32 high. Let me just double check here the full specs on that. 33 by 30 by 22 depth. So it is coming in at a height of 33.7, so almost 34. Now, Harbor Freight, of course, that's one everyone's going to ask about. Harbor Freight has the U.S. General. The U.S. General is 26. It's very narrow. Coming in, medium narrow, I guess. You know, the one next to me is coming, I think it's at 26. It's 26 and a half. And it's, and by 22 inches deep. So it's a little bit deeper. I got to tell you though, it's significantly better built than most of the other ones we're going to talk about. Maybe than any of the other ones we're going to talk about here. This one really gets into it's literally a tool chest. I don't think that's an exaggeration to call it a tool chest. I have tested and torture tested these. They just hold up. They just work. They're probably one of the best budget brands. Medium. They're part of, the good, better, best. They fall in the better line. Now Yukon is their good line over there. Unfortunately, they only have the larger ones. They don't have any of these smaller cabinets. I'd love to see them come out with a 4 or 5 drawer Yukon cabinet. That would be awesome. On sale, these come out around $300. You can't go wrong with them, but in a lot of cases, they're more than most people will need. And on top of it, you have to look at the drawer configuration. They have a lot. Was it 1, 2, 3 very thin drawers, and then 2 more or 3 more medium-sized drawers, and then 2 deeper drawers. So unless you're looking for a lot of very thin drawers, like at my side desk here, that really wouldn't work for me. Using all those really super thin drawers, great for wrenches and stuff like that, not so great for other miscellaneous kind of storage. So just keep that in mind. Excellent product. Can't recommend it enough, but might not be right for the usage that you're doing. I want to say this about the price. I don't think the price is bad at $320. It's not so much that the other ones that this is a great deal, so much as the other ones I think are really just overpriced. Let's keep going now over at Home Depot. This is another one that just recently kind of taken on the market. That's Gearwrench. I love this cabinet. I've seen it in person. I've seen it at I have a friend who has one in the shop. I've seen it at Home Depot, and I saw it at SEMA, and I got a full walk around by the guys at Gearwrench. They're fabulous people. I love Gearwrench. I've got Gearwrench ratchets. I'm not trying to hate on Gearwrench. I use Gearwrench. I love Gearwrench. I talk about Gearwrench all the time. $500. Gearwrench, we need to have a talk. This is not a $500 cabinet. It's a great cabinet. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a $500 cabinet. The colors pop in real life. I like the texture. I like the size on this thing. 26-inch cart here. It's 37 by 26 by 18. It's a decent sized cart. It's just not a $500 cart in my estimation. Prove me wrong. Put it down in the comments. Go to war with me. Take me to task. But I still, again, it's hard for me to adjust this as a $500 cart. Now back to Menards. This is their upper line, their Master Force, and I like the Master Force cabinets. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are like, "Oh, they're better than you." I've seen them. I've measured them. I've looked at them. I still don't feel that they're as good as solid. They're not like super solid work chests in the way that the U.S. General is, but they're close. $400, and that's the sale price. Normal price on this was at $550. $550 there. And that's with the sale price and the rebate gets you down to $400. Comes in two colors, gunmetal gray or black. It's got the power strip built on the side. Now we're looking at a bigger cabinet here, 30 inches. All right. So we're looking at the full specs on it. Let's make sure I got everything right here. We're looking at, that's the bottom drawers. We're looking at 36. Well, the drawers measure 26 by 21. The cabinet itself is 30 by 24. This is a solid cabinet. It really is. And at $400, considering the 30 inch, maybe. I mean, I love the power strip built in the side. Really, if you were going to use this as a tool stand kind of stuff, that's hard to argue with. Having that, maybe use this as a miter saw stand. People are like, oh, you'll get sawdust in the drawers. I used my cheapo Craftsman as a miter saw stand. Never really had much of a problem with that. Keep the drawers closed. Now, some other options. You can go on Amazon. You can buy carts on Amazon. I don't think I could recommend carts on Amazon. Here's the DNA Motoring Tools cart. This is 13 inches. That's how deep this is. 13 inches. Pay attention. You look at it, you're like, oh, that's just like others. It's 13 inches and it's $250. I can't really in any way, shape, or form recommend that unless, of course, you specifically need a very shallow, tool chest. And maybe you've got a small workshop. Maybe that's something you do need. In which case, hey, good for you. Here you go. This is it. Walmart. I hesitated about including this, but I'm going to because people keep finding them. You see where it says you see, I can't talk. You see where it says shop similar, like that's normally where you click to buy it. That's because these are out of stock. They've been out of stock for a while, except people keep finding them in stores. They're on clearance. We've talked about this for a couple years now. And the price on these, now these are 36, these are almost going into full workbenches. You're looking at 36 inches. They have this one and they have one that's got a wood top. And I will post a link to BrickSeek. BrickSeek has been having issues with inventory with Walmart. They can't tell you specifically how much are in store. They can just tell you what the store lists the price as. 23% of Walmart stores are listing this at $109. That's a fabulous deal. It's a little bit bigger. You got to have the room for it. Great tool chest, soft close. It's still not the build quality of the U.S. General, but it's definitely better than something like the Craftsman or anything else. It's probably on par, like with the Gearwrench and stuff like that. I don't. Maybe the Gearwrench might have better wheels on it, but it's for a DIYer. This is a solid cabinet. You can get this one for $109. And the one with the wood top for $124. And the wood top, I don't know if the other one has it, but the wood top has the power cord and power strip on the side. Again, making it an excellent like miter saw station or something like that. At $124, you can't go wrong with that. 9% of stores, though, have that one. That said, this is deal hunting, not deal getting. You're going to have to hunt for this. So don't come back to me going, hey, I can't find it. Can you tell me who does? No, this all I can do is point you in the direction and hope you can find something. That's just the way it is. Now, if you think that I've skipped over something, if I missed somebody obvious, let me know down in the comments below. If something that's local, it's not regional, I tend to try to talk about national stores rather than just regional stuff. I know there may be a Runnings or a not Tractor Supply, but Menards or somebody who's got something there. It's hard for me to recommend that because it's not like somebody's going to pay to have it shipped or something like that. So that's why we exclude those. But if you got any other ones, put it down in the comments below. Anyway, while you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.